We opened the doors back up to maximum velocity, and we were greeted with a wild one at the new configuration of Atlanta. We keep the new configurations rolling here as we are at the 2021 version of Phoenix Raceway for round number 2 of the revival of Maximum Velocity Racing League, in what could very well be some more wild and untamed action here for the drivers of Maximum Velocity. Howdy folks, my name is Tommy Cook. I'll have the action solo here tonight as Matt Williamson is out enjoying a little bit of time away. He'll be back next week. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and take a look at the point standings after the first round here. Now, interestingly enough, this is not exactly how the finishing order looked from last week in Atlanta like you may expect. Of course, there are some bonus points at play for leading laps, leading the most laps, etc., but also some bonus points and some points penalties based on how many incident points these drivers had. If you had 1 to 4 incident points, you are off the hook in terms of penalty points. However, if you finish the race with a 0x, you actually get a couple of bonus points for that. Matt Rodolasso is the only driver in the entire field to finish that race with a 0x. He picks up a couple of bonus points, and that is enough to get him the lead in the point standings heading into round number 2. He finished runner-up, of course, too, Kyle Chadwick, who had a 4x. He takes a penalty point for that, and that will move him down to second in the standings. Andrew Schulte, Jack Watts, Craig Hawkins, and Wally Terheimer technically tied for the 5th position as well. So those are your top 5. Heath Smith, Jesse Vaughn, Ronnie Norman, and Michael Milfeld Jr., your top 10 drivers. Heading into what is promising to be a wild race here tonight. The sunset in the desert, but the action is just heating up. We've got more around the turn for Maximum Velocity on turn 200.
Yeah, that's a good point. All right, I'll do him and Kyle then.
A blind knight that uses echolocation, viewing the dark, treacherous world through sound. Trapped in a dungeon deep, endangered by combatants, where hazards lurk around every corner. Make sound to have vision, or don't and be stealthy. Avoid impaling threats throughout the dungeon to escape. Engage with other prisoners.
Rogue Knight I've been hearing about. Could you find the key and unlock my cell?
Free them to fight back with more allies.
Let's take this guy.
The dungeon labyrinth has many paths and even more traps. Struggle through the darkness to find your freedom.
Presentation. And we transitioned into the real-time sim there. It is way darker than anybody thought it was going to be. Session time-lapse is set on 4 times real speed here tonight. So it is a full-on night race here. Cool track temperatures, the name of the game here at Phoenix Raceway for round number 2 of the revival of Maximum Velocity Racing League. Welcome into the broadcast. We have, I do believe, 35 drivers registered for this session, 33 of which have put up a time. Man, that is a great turnout here. That's roughly the same number of people that we had last week at Atlanta. I believe we had 33 take the green flag there as well. So exciting stuff here. Before we get into qualifying, we're going to have a chat with a couple of our drivers. If you are hanging out with us here tonight, let us know. Drop us a chat as the stream goes along. Gonna try and sneak in a quick word with your race winner from last week, and I've not told anybody that I am doing this. So it is a guerrilla-style impromptu live interview here with Kyle Chadwick ahead of tonight's race. Welcome back to the booth. In the top 10 in practice speeds here, what's the game plan? What's the goal here tonight?
Try to avoid the wrecks. I felt a lot better before the sun went down.
What's been the biggest change, I guess, for you driving-wise since the sun went down?
It's just a lot looser, it's a lot less grip. Speed's picked up a little bit. Got to figure it out quick.
Alrighty, well, we'll let you get back to practice, but anybody you want to shout out here before the race gets going?
No, just shout out to everyone putting the show on. You guys for the broadcast.
Alrighty, best of luck. Hope to talk to you again here soon.
All right, thank you.
And gonna pull in one more driver down here at the bottom. And part of the reason pulling this driver up into the broadcast booth is because I feel bad. I called their name out several times, and I'm not sure I'm pronouncing it correctly. So driver number 42, if you could help me out here, please.
Yeah, it's Berkema.
Berkema?
Yeah, it's like E-R, Kima, but there's no R.
Okay. All right, Berkema.
Yep, yeah, that's
Great.
perfect.
Alrighty, so called your name out quite a bit last week in Atlanta, running up front, but unfortunately you didn't get the finish that you were hoping for. What's the plan for the rebound here tonight?
I put a little bit of practice. I honestly haven't run Phoenix that much in the trucks. Not really my strength. Just kind of track, on the brakes a little bit early. Got to turn in a little bit early. So definitely, I'm thinking I'm probably going to be near the back of the pack. There's some pretty quick guys, so survive in advance tonight, honestly. I think there's a big opportunity for some crashes, possibly some guys getting into each other. So if we can stay clean and just put together some solid laps, I think we might have a good finish tonight.
After the finish of last week's race, I'm sure staying clean sounds great to a lot of the people in the field here tonight. Anybody you want to shout out before I let you go?
I want to give a shout out to my teammate Drew. We're going to be putting it in tonight, so hopefully we can put in a good show tonight.
Well, best of luck to you and the rest of R&D Racing, and hopefully we'll get to talk to you again after the race.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
All right, so about 1 minute left here before we get into some qualifying action. Again, 3-lap qualifying for maximum velocity across the board here at every single track. It's some really exciting stuff happening here in this league, and some absolutely knockout quality drivers. Ashton Crowder back in the field here tonight, as is Scott Patton, two drivers that we did not see at Atlanta. Scott Patton, a familiar name to those of us who are longtime viewers here on Turn 200. Patton, a two-time winner in the flagship series of this channel, Truck 200. He is running second right now to Crowder on the timing sheet. Crowder, of course, what was a peak antifreeze iRacing eNASCAR driver a few years ago, and also won the only practice race for the league for maximum velocity a couple of weeks ago as well. So Ashton Crowder back in the field here tonight. Scott Patton, after the New Hampshire Cup week is over, he is back in the field here tonight as well. Justin Michael third right now in the timing charts. Rob Haynes and Christopher Howell is back here tonight. Those are your top 5 drivers in timing as we are moving on to qualifying. We got Noah Rainwater in the chat. He's also racing here, I do believe. Oh, and the sun is back out. That is interesting. Okay. Go ahead and kick this on to exciting mode. We'll see who is lighting up the track here. We got Charlie Widener, who was certainly on exciting mode this Monday night for the SWM Cup Series. Got a great look at the side-by-side finish across the line, and actually ended up on that final lap of the race. He clocked the fastest lap of the race. So he was cooking and booking there. One more straightaway, and it would have been a 3-wide finish at Atlanta. SWM Cup Series back in action here on Turn 200 on Monday at Bristol, and that... from what I'm gathering in the Discord, that is going to be a knockdown, drag-out kind of night. Not just because it's Bristol. Rob Haynes led a lot of laps last week. At Atlanta. Scott Patton right now has the time to beat. See how long it'll last. 26.80 for Patton. And there is the chatter, Noah Rainwater, out on the track. Jason Garrett right now with the second quick time. Jack Watts now up to now third as Justin Michael will go to the top of the board. Take a look at the weather conditions. I have a feeling the sunset is going to reset every single time. Or I guess it'll reset one more time as we go into the race session here. But track temp, I can't quite read that either. It says 75, 76, or 78. But either way, a generous track temperature. I'm sure the folks who are actually in Phoenix right now would love for it to be 72 degrees. Justin Michael up top, 26.79. Don't believe we've seen Ashton Crowder hit the track here yet. There's Riley Berkema. Never in a million years would I have thought to have pronounced that way. Driver number 42 on the clock here. And your race winner from last week at Atlanta 2022, Kyle Chadwick. Not the points leader heading into tonight. Points leader is here. He is yet to hit the track, Matt Rodolasso. Finished runner-up, but clocked a 0x. And remember, incident points can not scoring any incident points at all, which is really the ideal goal for everybody, will net you some bonus points. If you score 4 or more incident points in a race, that is going to cost you some points away, as a lot of the drivers found out the hard way at Atlanta last week. Rodolasso with a runner-up finish and a 0x is leading the championship standings heading into round number 2. Just a little bit of time left here in qualifying before we get to our starting grid. 120 laps here tonight. And I have given a fuel number for every single stream that we've had here this week. And every single stream, it has been not correct. Ashton Crowder to the top of the board. Unsurprisingly, I should say, 26.79, or 7.2 rather, 26.79 for Scott Patton, who is second quickest. I think the fuel number is around 40. Again, 70% fuel capacity for these trucks here tonight. 3 sets of tires in the pits, and no fast repairs for 120 laps around Phoenix. Last week's race went really quick, including the cautions. It went really fast. And another driver who also went really fast is Ashton Crowder, and he is about to lead the field to green here for 120 laps at Phoenix. We'll give you the full starting lineup here, or as full as we can get in just a little bit of time. Scott Patton is going to start to his outside. Row number 2 on the inside is Justin Michael. To his outside will be Michael Milfelt Jr. Rob Haynes then led the most laps last week, I do believe. We'll start in 5th here tonight. Ronnie Norman snuck in for a great finish last week through all the chaos. He will start in 6th here tonight. Jack Watts then in the 7th starting position. James Lehman will start to his outside in 8th. Last week's winner, Kyle Chadwick, will start in the 9th position, and Christopher Howell will round out your top 10 starters. Heath Smith and Jason Garrett then on row number 6. Then row number 7, it is Drew Stottman on the inside, Cody Griffin on the outside. Seth Foudy and Noah Rainwater then on row number 8. Podium finisher from last week, Andrew Schulte, will start in the 17th position. Chris Snyder to his outside in 18th. Zachary Foudy in 19th, and John Ledger will start in the 20th position. 21st, Charlie Widener is all the way back on the inside of row number 11 with William D. Kirk, another fan favorite here in the chat, starting to his outside. Greg Mall and Riley Berkema on row number 12. Thomas Lee, Josh Scott on row number 13. Brian Troy, Brad Slagle, Matt Rodolasso, the points leader, all the way back in 29th. Don Milkowitz in 30th. Robert Matisse, Bill Paradise, Kerry Cleaver, Chris Voiles, and Craig Hawkins, the rest of your starting order. All righty. Everybody place your bets in the chat. Who do we think is going to walk away with it at the end of round number 2 for Maximum Velocity? The sun is going back down again. The pace truck has hung a left into pit road. One more straightaway for these guys to navigate. Lots of things on the driver's mind here. Cold tires. Who's going to be shifting? Who's going to be shifting in what set of corners? Who is going to take the dog leg here on the opening lap? It's all to play for here in round number 2 as we come to the start zone. We are underway. And already Justin Michael lunging to the inside here, looking for the race lead. Crowder back to the inside as the field battles away behind them. Scott Patton trying to hold off. Oh, in trouble there. I think Rob Haynes got out of shape. So did Michael Milfelt. Quite a few drivers all out of sorts here. And look, they're still going. Michael Milfelt tags. Caution is out. Holy cow. I mean, that was a mega domino effect there. I think Kyle Chadwick got a piece of this as well. Josh Scott, rather. Oh, yeah, you can see them all stacked up here. So this will put us under the caution for the first time on just lap number 2. And take a look at this from Michael Milfelt. And we're going to back this up, actually, a bit and see what happened here. That's the 199 in front of him, Rob Haynes. So, give this a look here in real time. I can't tell if Haynes bobbled there or if there was some netcode contact between he and the 46. They're all going to stack up behind. And a tag up and across. That's Chadwick that just put somebody else up into the wall. Back it up one more time. Take a look at this from Kyle Chadwick's point of view. The 81. Oh, man, Andrew Schulte. All the heavy hitters from last week involved in this one straight away. Man. They're all moving around on me. There we go. So Schulte into Chadwick, who gets up into Christopher Howell, I believe that was, in the 88, and they're still wrecking from here. Man, that was a wild one to open things up here. Multiple trucks involved. While that was happening, we had quite a few people on pit road, it looked like. Most of them had picked up damage in that incident, though. So I guess we'll tell you how the running order looks right now. Justin Michael scored as the leader there. Ashton Crowder then is in the second position. And here we go. Ashton Crowder in the second position. Ronnie Norman is now up to third. Scott Patton will then drop to fourth behind him. Cody Griffin now will be in fifth. That is Heath Smith in the sixth position. Rob Haynes is sticking with it up here in seventh. Jason Garrett will now be in eighth. James Lehman and Seth Foudy, your top 10. Charlie Widener up 10 spots there through the melee. The WD-40 got that truck slipping just right. He is up to 11th. Zachary Foudy in the field here tonight in 12th. Chris Snyder, Greg Mall, and William D. Kirk, your top 15. We are back to the restart zone. And lap number 6 goes up on the board. Justin Michael on defense here as here comes the big move to the inside from Scott Patton, battling for second with Crowder. Stay single file. Here goes. Maybe Ronnie Norman thought about making a move. Patton shuts the door. All this while Justin Michael trying his best to pull away here from the 27 of Crowder. All sorts of action throughout the field here. Charlie Widener right now battling for the 11th position. Rob Haynes going to work here on Heath Smith to get up to 6th. Crowder has not lost Patton, but he is putting on some time here on the 87 of Justin Michael. Trying to pull the leader in here. Different lines coming into play through 1 and 2. Ronnie Norman, who we got to talk to a little bit before the race last week at Atlanta, up here in the top 5 now. Was really quiet up until, well, really the last lap of that Atlanta race, and stuck into the top 10 right in the closing stretch. Jack Watts has just come off of pit road, had some extended service to do on that 77 truck. Top 3 equidistant to each other, about a truck length between them each. Crowder and Michael battled for the entire opening green flag run before the pit stops really broke the field up. That's where Crowder was really able to get away. Michael says Las Vegas is one of his favorite tracks. Phoenix, I think, is up there for him as well. If it's not one of his favorites, I could tell you personally. It's one that he's really good at. Won here in Truck 200 competition several months ago. Crowder going to work here. Left side tires just a tick below the apron there. Underneath of Michael for the lead. Can't quite make it happen this time. Really lose a ton of time, though. This is the battle for 7th. Jason Garrett, James Lehman going at it. close quarters there. Garrett's going to have that spot for the time being. We'll look back up to the front now. Been burned before about going back through the field and missing the pass for the lead. I'm cautious to miss it again. Quick look back here at the 16 of Griffin trying to work over Ronnie Norman. Don Milkowitz has been on and off of pit road now. And Crowder may be about to be overtaken by Michael's teammate, Scott Patton. Patton and Michael both cutting the dogleg. Crowder down a little bit as well. An open dogleg here tonight. You're not going to pick up an incident point by doing that. In a 20 race season, really all these bonus points that you can get are going to add up. Oh, Crowder scrapes the wall there. Oh, we've got problems, I believe. Kerry Cleaver has gone around, but I think he did it close to the pits. Oh, now we got problems. Zach Foudy and Don Milkowitz have crashed, and the caution is out. So Don jumps to the pits here. We'll take a look first at what happened to Kerry Cleaver, and maybe this is sort of a domino effect. 69 of Cleaver, working through turns 1 and 2. Oh, slowing down to come to the pits and actually gets tagged by Bill Paradise is what it looks like. So, he was pit bound anyway. Now, this is already developing with the 0-2 of Zachary Foudy and the 13 of Don Milkowitz. I think the 13 had already gotten into the back of the 0-2 here. And, oh, 0-2 definitely has turned down the track at that point. And Milkowitz with quite a bit of contact there in essentially the tri-oval. And that has put us under caution for the second time here. So Thomas Lee is leading the race as pretty much everybody else came down pit road. It looks like Justin Michael wins the race off of pit road. But now he will be scored in second, I do believe, as Cody Griffin has stayed out. Still, that's Kerry Cleaver in front of the 16 of Griffin, who again went around before the caution came out and hit pit road. So this is going to be him trying to get a lap back here. Angry Monkey Racing, dang, missed the start due to some internet. I don't know what it is, but I mean, a lot of people have been having internet and ISP problems like this last week when it comes to people missing races and lagging out of races. I don't know if that's like a confirmation bias sort of thing, but it just seems like it's been happening more and more, like just this week. So, I don't know. It's somebody's fault. It's not yours, though. Don't worry. And we did have 35 people take the green flag here at some point. Several people, I think, are no longer with us here in this race session, so I don't have any way to check that for sure, being the one who is streaming. The pace truck lights should go off this time. Leaders have all burned a set of tires here. They all have fresh rubber compared to the 16 of Cody Griffin. Griffin will elect the inside here, and that will put Michael to his outside. And you may have noticed on the initial start of the race how far back Scott Patton was in comparison to the leader, Ashton Crowder. That was to not pick up a penalty through the restart zone. Sometimes it can be finicky about that sort of stuff. So we'll have to see if Michael also lags back relatively far here compared to the control car, the 16. A little bit closer between the two. Definitely not even keel. Green flag is back in the air. Lap number 23 is up on the board. I tell you what, being on the outside, though, that really killed the restart there for Michael. Here goes Crowder up to second and now going to the lead. Griffin fighting back here on the outside. And putting up a great fight at that. Crowder still not clear. Maybe going to open his own door there, and does. That should be good enough to get it done. Crowder outright to the front. Patton fighting to the inside here of Justin Michael for the third spot. Oh, Griffin is loose. Oh, boy. Oh, my. That is big problems here. Jason Garrett involved, Josh Scott again, Kerry Cleaver again, Jack Watts again. Oh, man. Holy cow. Under caution again. I think Ronnie Norman was involved in this one as well. Let's try. Actually, Ronnie Norman was involved in the last accident. I scrolled a little bit too far up. Cody Griffin gonna get a little bit loose here under attack from Scott Patton. And it is on from there. And I missed that. Yeah, so the back end is kicked out there. Patton is going to get tagged from behind, and that's really where the rest of this stack up happens. One that I really saw get torched was the 79 of Jason Garrett. We'll go with him here. So there's the wreck up and to his left. Patton across the track, of course. Not a whole lot of places to go for, I believe that's Charlie Widener. Garrett across the track, collects Seth Foudy. James Lehman gonna squeeze through here. I think Rob Haynes gets a piece of this as well. Man, oh man. Let's take this back all the way to the start, and we can see what a big pileup looks like from the vantage point of Heath Smith here, rocking the Mighty Ducks paint scheme. Find the right button. Here we go. You just feel boxed in down this straightaway when something like this starts happening. There's not a whole lot of things you could do other than slow down and hope that you're not about to get run over. And for the most part, everybody that could avoid this crash did a good job of not making the situation any worse. There are a lot of torn up trucks here already. Before we even get to lap 30 here. My, oh my. We thought this race might get a little crazy, but man, that's been two borderline big ones here to kick this off, and a contentious crash on top of that. Ashton Crowder leading, James Michael in second. Greg Mall, James Lehman third and fourth. And I erroneously attributed one truck to being Charlie Widener in that crash. Here's Widener right here in fifth. James D. Kirk beside him. Heath Smith, Matt Rodolasso, the points leader, up in the top 10 here. No Rainwater in the top 10 as well. Brad Slagle right now in 10th. Ronnie Norman and Riley. Oh boy, I already forgot how to say it. That spells trouble. But they're just lurking outside of the top 10 here. Berkema. That's how you say it. I knew I had to dig a little bit deeper for that one. All right, coming to the restart. Should be coming to lap 29 here. Just under 100 laps to go. Great restart here for Ashton Crowder. Michael away cleanly in second. How about James Lehman up to third here? Greg Mall pulls up in front of Charlie Widener. As Ashton Crowder trying to put on the Jets here. I think we have problems back in the pack. Craig Hawkins has gone around, it looks like. If we get a second, we'll have to go back and take a look at that. No caution has come out. Matt Rodolasso under fire right now from Noah Rainwater. Rainwater is cleared up. Ronnie Norman down to the inside of the 49. So many lanes to work with here at Phoenix. Not all of them fast, but sometimes it's not about being fast, it's about being comfortable. So we're single file most of the way through the field here. Let's go and take a quick look at what happened to Craig Hawkins if we can. Craig in the blue truck here. A little bit boxed in. Just not able to save it, but boy, he does a fantastic job of keeping it off the walls here. Go back and take a look if we can. I think Scott Patton, who again was running inside the top 3 when that crash happened, he is still in the pits, getting damage repaired here. So an unfortunate a development in his night. Justin Michael now. Maybe this is the green flag run that Ashton Crowder was looking for here. Already back about half a second to the race leader. James Lehman running in third. Greg Mull in fourth as Charlie Widener is closing in on the 7 of Mull. William Kirk right now in sixth. Noah Rainwater under fire from Ronnie Norman for 7th. This is the first battle for position on track at the moment. Matt Rodolasso and Heath Smith, your top 10. Keep my eyes on anything developing up in front of these gentlemen as they battle away for the 7th position. They are both pushing awfully hard here as here goes the 6th of Norman with at least a peek to the inside here. Terre Haute, Indiana. Been to Terre Haute a time or two. Rainwater doing a great job here trying to hold off the 6. Oh boy. That's the real tough part about scrapping away here. Never really know where your opponent is going to break. scenery around the track looks a little bit weird. I'm not exactly sure why, but just at this track only, whenever I'm in spectator mode, the grandstands never load. They just never do it. I don't know why. Here's the 3-truck dance for you. Greg Mall in the white truck out front. In the 4th position, Charlie Widener in 5th, Michael Kirk in 6th. And as they continue to battle away, here goes Norman to the inside of Rainwater again, looking for 7th. Ashton Crowder about 1.3 seconds ahead of Justin Michael now for the lead. James Lehman has fallen back by quite a bit on this battle as well. So Michael's sort of out in no man's land right now, but Lehman doing a nice job hanging on to a podium spot here as they continue to battle away behind him. Actually, Lehman has reeled in Justin Michael here. It's exciting. Lehman, the league proprietor here, one of several people who help operate this league week in and week out. But he is the main head honcho. Great to see him up front here. Some activity on pit road. I believe Heath Smith has just come into pit. And never mind. I think maybe he just went so far down that it said that he was going into the pits, but that is not what happened. Yeah, because he was on pit lane for apparently 0.57 seconds. So, not quite. Just as quickly as James Lehman caught up to Justin Michael, he fades away just a little bit. Truck behind him, I believe, is Seth Foudy, who is several laps down after the damage. Or at least just 1 lap down. William Kirk has gotten in front of Charlie Widener here. And Ronnie Norman has just gotten past the 0.5 of Noah Rainwater. Great drive off on the bottom there. And that's how you get it done. Greg Mulholland in a steady wheel here. But Ronnie Norman is on the march here. "15 laps shy of halfway. Again, if you're hanging out with us here tonight, let us know. Drop us a chat. Love to hear from some new folks here. Again, this league is still in its infancy here on Turn 200, so still learning about some of these drivers and who they got rooting for them here. So let us know. Let us know who you're rooting for. Get them a little airtime too. Quick peek out front here. Ashton Crowder showing the way. Nearly a 2-second advantage right now over Justin Michael, who again is sort of in no man's land. Not being contested by James Lehman, not making up any time on Ashton Crowder. So Greg Mall here in 4th. William Kirk in 5th. Charlie Widener behind them, and Ronnie Norman in 7th. A 4-truck battle here for 4th. As Noah Rainwater, Heath Smith, and Matt Rodolasso round out your top 10. Michael Milfelt Jr., who was involved in, I believe, the first caution of the night, is up to 11th. So a good comeback for him. Some drivers that are either in the pits or just confirmed out of this race. Robert Matisse, I do believe. Brian Troy, Scott Patton, Jason Garrett, Chris Snyder, Zach Foudy, Don Milkowitz and Christopher Howell, all the way down to 35th. There goes Norman on Widener. And Norman already making moves here to get to the inside of the 9 to move himself up to 5th. Berg a little bit loose. Got a nose out ahead. Beautiful looking NOS truck. Not quite clear just yet. Widener not going away either. All the way down nearly to the inside wall. Oh boy. Clear up, took the spot for a moment, but here's Kirk right back to it on the bottom, into 3 and 4. Here's Widener now with a move to the inside. Nothing going for him. Kirk still trying to fight back valiantly here on the inside in close quarters again. Now it's Norman's spot outright. And Ronnie Norman has moved himself up into the top 5. Well, that'll leave Kirk and Widener to battle it out amongst themselves for 6th. This is about the closest battle that we've got on the track, I do believe. Now, Rainwater and Michael Milfelt, also Heath Smith and Matt Bradalasso are drawing nearer together here. So this is 8th through 11th. All getting about nose to tail here. Quick check in on the leaders here. Ashton Crowder still pretty comfortably out in front. I think it's 0-5 of Rainwater just got up and into the wall there. That's sure what it sounded like. I say the Mighty Ducks earlier for Heath Smith. I sure did, didn't I? I got the Ducks part right, at least. That's got to count for something. Milfeld trying to make a move here to the inside. Going to be able to quite pull it off, but Rainwater knows he's there. Rainwater a little wide there out of turn 2. Just up ahead of them, Widener had a crack there at William Kirk for 6th. Couldn't quite get it done this time. That battle will continue. James Lehman right now in 3rd. Justin Michael working through some lap traffic. Greg Mall in 4th. Behind Kyle Chadwick here, and Ronnie Norman is not too far behind this 7 truck. So that'll be a battle here before too much longer. 155 not only has not gotten around the 0-5, he has now been passed by the 1 of Heath Smith. So Smith up to 9th. Rainwater still hanging on to 8th. Millville back to 10th. And again, the 155 involved in the opening caution of this race. A big stack up here coming back to the line on lap number 2. So it's been a great recovery drive for the 155 already. To be running in the top 10 here is pretty miraculous. Ashton Crowder has 3.7 seconds to work with here over Justin Michael. James Lehman in a distant third. Here's Greg Mull in 4th with a hard charging Ronnie Norman behind him. Mull is up 19 spots from where he started, so it's a great drive for this 7 already. Norman started in the 6th position, fittingly enough, but has had to work his way back through the field here after being involved in that last caution. Is a big run here down the back straightaway. Not sure if it's going to be quite big enough for him to make a move. But the 6 of Norman is on the prowl here, coming to lap number 63. Rather, lap number 62. I can't read or count. Another run down the back stretch. Gonna cross Mull over here. This time he will have a look into the inside in 3 and 4. Mull still fighting back here, tooth and nail on the outside, but man, a huge run. He absolutely sent it there into 1 and 2. Here comes Mull back on the inside. I mean, you got to try it, right? That's everything short of just pulling the Ross Chastain and riding the wall there through the turns. Norman absolutely sent it there under the apron. We're just over halfway. Imagine what he can do here if he catches up to Lehman or Michael to get on the podium. Battle is not over. Man, William Kirk behind them. Pretty close to getting up in the wall. Him and Charlie Widener are going to be tired of each other by the end of this race. And maybe Mull and Norman will too. Can't quite get it settled between them. Take a quick look back here at the battle for 8th as Smith is looking underneath of the 05 now. Michael Milfeld is pressuring the situation here as well. Andrew Schulte has just made his presence known with Matt Rodolasso. That is the battle for 11th. So right behind these two, the 81 is similarly on a march like Ronnie Norman up through the field after being involved in that last accident. These guys will continue to battle away here. Now some lap traffic infecting this battle for 4th. If I can find our battle box here. I've yet to use it here on my own. There we go. Greg Mull, Ronnie Norman, pulling some tools out of the bat belt here. All on the bottom here. Norman trying to drive away. Greg giving it everything he's got. That car is kicking out from underneath of him through 1 and 2. I think Norman has got it. And actually, Mull is going to come to pit road. Boy, he absolutely sent it. So Mull into the pits here. And we'll keep an eye on our leaders now. What is that going to do for everybody else? Michael bypasses, Crowder bypasses, Lehman is going by here as well. Will Ronnie Norman answer? No. Kirk and Widener both go past. I mean, all of these trucks behind Noah Rainwater here are for position. That's Schulte, Milfeld, Rodolasso. Cody Griffin is now back up here. Brad Slagle. A lot of trucks in this vicinity here. Schulte rocking and rolling to the inside of the 05. So Schulte and Milfeld make it through here. William Kirk and Charlie Widener have both hit pit road. James Lehman is on pit road. Noah Rainwater, of course, pit from this group as well. The time has got to be soon here for Michael and Crowder. Lehman is pit. Ronnie Norman right now is in third. He will go past pit entry here as well. Matt Rodolasso hits pit road. Drew Strotman is also into the pits. Here comes Ashton Crowder. Race leader onto pit road. He brings Justin Michael with him. Ronnie Norman will come down pit road this time as well. So the top three all on pit road right now. Just past halfway. We should need at least, I believe we need another pit stop here, although it is going to be close. Top three out on track right now: Andrew Schulte, Brad Slagle, and John Ledger. Thomas Lee also yet to pit. So Crowder off of pit road, Michael to follow. Ronnie Norman left side drops, and he is away. See where they shake out. Again, Norman expected to cycle out to fourth. The question of how far up the order here is James Lehman going to be. And I tell you, he is still behind Justin Michael here. So Ashton Crowder out on track right now in the 6th position. Still waiting for Schulte, Ledger, Slagle, and Lee to pit. Rob Haynes has just been overtaken right there for Crowder to get back up to 5th. Brad Slagle hitting pit road for the 052. See him running up front here. As Andrew Schulte in a mess of trucks right there. Here he comes to pit road. Boy, he's really going to try and get all that he can get here. And Rob Haynes on pit road now as well. And Thomas Lee. So that leaves John Ledger out on the track as the race leader in truck number 19. The Bostonian leading Ashton Crowder and Justin Michael. And the 19 will pick up his bonus points and hit pit road here. So back to business as usual now. I'm not too sure Chris Voiles has yet to come to pit road either. He is running in the 4th position. Oh. Now come to pit road. All right, so now back to business as usual. Ashton Crowder. Michael did pick up a little bit of time on that pit cycle. He picked up about 1.25 seconds, but still over a 2-second advantage for Ashton Crowder here. Coming to lap number 80 this time. Justin Michael in second, James Lehman in third, Greg Mall in fourth. William Kirk has gotten out in front of Ronnie Norman, but Norman is hounding that 9 here. So that is your top 6. Not sure what happened to Charlie Widener. Widener is down a lap down, and the caution is out. Bill Paradise has gone around. Oh, man, the 5.56 with problems. And it puts us under caution just as the pit cycle has concluded here. We'll go back and take a look at what happened. So maybe a little bit of cold tire slippage here. I mean, does a fantastic job to keep it off the wall. It must have been an auto caution that triggered it there. Because all things considered, that was pretty harmless. But a fantastic job by Bill Paradise in a night where we've seen so many trucks be absolutely destroyed beyond recognition. He will not be one of them, as the leaders are back on pit road here. Crowder, Michael, Lehman, all on the pit road. William Kirk is not. So he should pick up the lead here. Cody Griffin will be behind him. Michael Milfelt, Noah Rainwater, all stay out here. So the Bill Paradise spin really could shake things up here as this race draws to a conclusion. Race off the pit road goes to Ashton Crowder. Actually, no, it doesn't. Justin Michael wins the race off the pit road. Maybe a 2-tire versus 4-tire switcheroo there. Or maybe no tires at all for Justin Michael. Who knows? Maybe just trying to top off to make sure he is good to the end of the race, if at all possible. Of the drivers that have stayed out on that first lap under caution, Cody Griffin will be the only one on the lead lap coming into pit this time. So that still leaves 4 trucks out in front of Michael and Crowder. William Kirk, Matt Rodolasso, Michael Milfelt, and Noah Rainwater. Your top 4. Just as these drivers were getting into a groove maybe to go to the end of this race, it all changes so quickly. We usually got some William Kirk fans hanging out here with us. If you're here tonight, let us know. Your driver number 9 is up at the front here under caution. No, Rainwater hopped in the chat a little bit earlier as well. Justin Michael is live on Twitch right now. Floorboard Deep is the TTV handle there. Ashton Crowder has dominated this race here. Not only will have to work through 2 rows of traffic to get back out in front, but he will now have to pass Justin Michael again. Great race tonight for both Greg Mall and James Lehman. They will restart on row number 4 here. And Ronnie Norman in the 9th position right now. How about Drew Strotman? Have not talked a whole lot about driver number 3 here tonight, but he is in the 10th position here. Cody Griffin, Thomas Lee, Brad Slagle, Riley Berkema, and Josh Scott. Your top 15. Pace truck is off. Let's take a look at a restart. In kickpot cam here with Ronnie Norman. Justin Michael already up to second. Oh, and they're wrecking behind. That's the 50 of Lehman. Oh, he pulls the 360, keeps it going, but we're under caution. Oh, man. Caution is out. Go back and take a look here at what started all that. Then we're going to go back and watch Justin Michael's restart there. Didn't quite get a great look at it there on board with Ronnie Norman. But, oh, Lehman a little bit up the track. And just around a quick 360, the caution gets thrown nonetheless. And we're going to back up Justin Michael's restart here all the way from the beginning. On the inside of row number 3 here, starting in 5th. Not a great restart there for Noah Rainwater, who is the one that Lehman got into. So already up to 3rd here. He's got Rodolasso there on the outside, now underneath of Milfelt. And we'll just get a nose out in front of Milfeld here. Actually, we'll clear him all the way. And the wreck has just started behind them, so the caution will come out. And Justin Michael, just like that, up to the 2nd position. But still, with William Kirk to pass, Ashton Crowder here will be on the outside of row number 2 for this restart. Closing in on 30 laps to go when we come back to this restart. And this has been a bit of a crazy race. We had that one long green flag run, but outside of that, I mean, these guys have been a little bit all over the map here tonight. And remember, there are bonus points for having a 0x at the end of the race, and there are penalty points for going over 4 incident points. I'm having just a slight feeling that there's going to be a lot of negative bonus points in the column here tonight. A lot of notable drivers have been having some problems here tonight. Of course, Kyle Chadwick in the pits right now, your winner from last week. Bill Paradise in the pits as well. Robert Matisse. Scott Patton, I mean, was running inside of the top 3 when his card got pulled. Christian Snyder, Zach Foudy, Don Milkowitz, Christopher Howell, Jason Garrett as well, Jack Watts. A lot of drivers having some problems here tonight or getting caught up in some other people's messes. William Kirk in control of the restart here. We'll elect the inside. Justin Michael will start in 2nd. Michael Milfeld then will start next to Ashton Crowder. Crowder going to be trying to put on the jets here and get himself back up to the front after Michael beat him out of pit road that last time under caution. Greg Mall, Ronnie Norman on road 3, Brad Slagle, James Lehman. Lehman, despite the spin, still in the top 10 here on the outside of row number 4. And Matt Rodolasso, No Rainwater, your top 10. Teammates Riley Berkema and Drew Strotman on row number 6. "30 laps to go when we get back to the line. Big move here to the inside, Justin Michael. Oh, and they're wrecking big time behind. Holy cow. Chris Voiles, a hellacious impact And I don't think Michael got out in front. Caution is back out. Brian Troy also involved in this one. Oh, he just stays straight there. That was Voiles, the one that just got turned that we were watching with. Brian Troy was the one that turned down on him. I think Troy was expecting him probably to follow everybody else and go down onto the dog leg. A little bit of net code to start it, but I mean, that was all but imminent. Hard hit. Man, oh man. William Kirk racking up the lap sled here, though. That was Rob Haynes that just went on by. He'll get the lucky dog here. So I think everybody should be good on fuel from here on out. Michael, Crowder, both have a little bit fresher tires than William Kirk here. Kirk's been running up and near the top 5 all night long, so it's not a knock on him to say that Michael and Crowder are probably a little bit frustrated that they have not been able to get around the 9 yet. It's just been a sort of a patience game here, navigating these restarts. Getting so close to finishing off the overtake and not quite able to get it done. Crowder has moved up a spot on each of the 3 restarts so far. Michael got all his in one fell swoop on the first restart after the last round of green flag pit cycles there. Go through the field one more time with the rear chase cam. Your leader, William Kirk. Justin Michael in second. Ashton Crowder in third. Michael Milfelt in fourth. Ronnie Norman in fifth. Greg Mall in sixth. James Lehman right now in seventh. Matt Rodolasso in eighth. Brad Slagle in ninth. And Noah Rainwater rounds out your top 10. 11th right now for Drew Strotman. 12th for Riley Berkema. 13th for Josh Scott. 14th, your lucky dog there went to Rob Haynes. One lap down in 15th is Andrew Schulte. Thomas Lee right now in 16th. John Ledger in 17th. Gary Cleaver in 18th. Cody Griffin 19th. And actually Craig Hawkins in 19th and Cody Griffin in 20th. Bill Paradise still out here running. Charlie Widener as well. Kyle Chadwick. Seth Foudy. And I think that's about it here. As the field coming through turns 1 and 2 down the back stretch. Inside of 30 to go. Make it about 25, I believe, when we get back to the line here. Laps are ticking away. Kirk leading Michael, Crowder, and Milfelt. Michael spins the tires a bit on the restart there on the outside. Here goes Crowder to the inside of Michael for second. And Crowder now advancing on Kirk for the lead. Crowder might try and clear himself off the 9 here. Really putting the squeeze on. Now down through the dog leg, Crowder is clear. Michael now underneath of the 9. Oh boy. Milfeld holding on to fourth behind these two as Michael now clears up on the 9. Can Michael make anything work here on the 27? Or will Crowder do what he did under green and just pull away? Michael giving it everything that he's got here. Battle for fourth about to heat up. We'll take a look back at that in just a second here as Milfeld and Lehman about to go at it. Crowder's starting to put some distance between he and Michael. Here goes the 50 of Lehman up to fourth. Milfeld back to fifth. Greg Mall and Ronnie Norman are here as well. Ball underneath the Milfeld now. Ball now going to be overtaken by Norman on the outside. And all this is happening while William Kirk has started to back up to this group. If Lehman can get around the 9 here, this would be for the final spot on the podium. I think they all need to be worried about this 6. He is proven time and time again he is willing to put this truck wherever it needs to go. Here's the big move to the inside from Milfeld. Nothing going. Back on the attack, trying to re-overtake for fourth. Norman down to the outside of the 155. Just behind them, I had said that Andrew Schulte was a lap down. That was incorrect. He is back into the top 10 now. Let's look at this battle. Lehman on the inside, Kirk on the outside. Door to door, wheel to wheel. Oh, Lehman turned by Norman up and into the wall. We'll keep it going. A little bit of right side damage on the 50 there. Man, oh man. Trying to dig back here for a replay of what we just saw. This might be it. Yes, indeed. And not really any net code in that one, unfortunately. So William Kirk's spot on the podium right now is secure for the moment, but Michael Milfelt, again, on a similar strategy to William Kirk, they both stayed out under that first caution after the last round of green flag pit stops. Greg Mall has come in after them. So has Andrew Schulte, and I tell you what, Schulte is absolutely carving this field up right now. For as many times as that 81 has been in trouble here tonight, you wouldn't know it by the speed he has out on the track. The big scrap back here as well, Drew Strotman. Noah Ringwater, Ronnie Norman, Brad Slagle. Bouncing off each other, bouncing off the walls. Here goes Milfelt to the inside of Kirk. 10 laps to go. Oh boy. What Milfelt doesn't want to do here, and Kirk doesn't want this either, for them to be battling so long that Andrew Schulte, of course, it may just be inevitable at this point. This 81 is going so fast. He brings Maul up into the mix here. Schulte underneath the Maul right now to get up to 5th. Schulte, a podium finisher last week. Certainly looking to overtake the points lead here tonight if he's able to come away with this top 5 and maybe even a podium again. Schulte way down here to the inside. We'll pick off Milfelt for 4th. And now we'll go straight in on the 9 of Kirk for 3rd. Or at least try. Oh, Milfelt really centered it behind them. Walked it up the track there. Kirk with a swipe at the back bumper of Andrew Schulte, but it's not going to be enough. That 81 is on rails right now, up to 3rd. With only 6 laps to go, I think, unfortunately, 2nd is secured for Justin Michael. He is not gaining any time on Ashton Crowder either. 2 lap trucks between them, about 2.5 seconds between the top 2 here. We're coming to 5 to go. The only thing that is going to change this podium would be a caution. Kirk and Milfelt and Greg Mall as well, pretty close together still. And despite all the trouble, pulling a 360 earlier, getting turned into the wall with about 20 laps to go, James Lehman is still running in 7th here. Ronnie Norman is pulled back up onto him as well. And Drew Strotman kind of caught in the middle of the storm here. At least they're not going to lose a top 10 finish out of the whole ordeal. 3 laps to go. Ashton Crowder having to work forward a little bit here in the last few restarts. Finally has found his way back to the front after dominating the middle portion of this race. Looking to be a bridesmaid again for Justin Michael. Kirk and Milfelt still battling side by side here. Ronnie Norman clear on Drew Strotman to move up to 7th. Lehman back to 9th. Down the back straightaway, coming to the white flag. One last trip around Phoenix for Ashton Crowder. He missed Atlanta last week after winning the practice race at Las Vegas, which will be the championship race. Performances like this, Ashton Crowder still has to be a championship favorite despite missing the opening race of the season. He is going to win round number 2 and do it in dominant fashion. Ashton Crowder is back to victory lane with maximum velocity at Phoenix. Justin Michael will bring it home in second. Andrew Schulte for the second week in a row is going to round out your podium in the third position. William Kirk hangs on to fourth. Michael Milfelt in fifth. Greg Mall in sixth. Ronnie Norman will finish seventh. Drew Strotman in eighth. James Lehman in ninth. And Noah Ringwater will round out your top 10 here tonight. He said he was going to have to work on something special for his burnouts. And how about just a full send into the wall? I hope he hadn't unbuckled yet. That's certainly a burnout. I think the crowd would probably go home happy after that. I think the celebration is over already, though. That's unfortunate. Oh my gosh. Well, gave you the top 10 finishers here. Let's go ahead and give you, I guess, the rest of the finishing order. As it'll be 11th here tonight for Brad Slagle, 12th for Riley Berkema, 13th for Rob Haynes, 14th for Thomas Lee, 15th for Josh Scott, who I believe is the last truck on the lead lap here. Cody Griffin, disappointing finish. He was running in the top 5 early. He will finish in 16th here tonight. John Ledger in 17th, Craig Hawkins in 18th, Kerry Cleaver in 19th. That's why it's not scrolling, because I'm hitting the wrong one. There we go. Sorry, I'm still getting used to this. Bill Paradise will finish in 20th. Matt Rodolasso came in as the points leader here tonight. He will finish in 21st. Charlie Widener down in 22nd. Kyle Chadwick in 23rd. Seth Foudy, 24th. Robert Matisse in 25th. Brian Troy, 26th. Chris Voiles, 27th. Heath Smith down in 28th. Jack Watts, 29th. And Zachary Foudy in 30th. Scott Patton in 31st. Holy cow. 32nd then for Jason Garrett. 33rd for Chris Snyder, Don Milkowitz, and Christopher Howell. The rest of your finishing order. It is time for some podium interviews as we get ready to roll here. Got to do a little bit of scrolling. And we'll talk first to your third place finisher here tonight. For the second week in a row, it is driver number 81, who was carving up the field there on that final run, Andrew Schulte. Talk to me about that last run under green there, trying to hustle for all that the truck was worth at that point to get back up to the front.
Yeah, well, we got put in a bad spot at the beginning of the race, got caught up in that first wreck and acquired quite a bit of damage. So we spent the whole race fixing that and trying to get some speed back in the truck. And on that last caution that we had, I saw it was the last car on the lead lap. So I said, screw it, let's throw on a set of tires and see what we can do with it. And I didn't really have short run speed the whole race, but at the end there, with a little bit better tires, and the truck was finally fixed at the end of the race there. And then we had a 25 lap run, so we were able to make a little bit of pace and start passing people as everyone was wearing their stuff out. So again, kind of got lucky getting back up to here. I don't know how the race would have turned out if we didn't get caught up in that first wreck, but can't complain when you get the podium.
Certainly not. I would have to wager a guess to say You are probably the points leader leaving Phoenix here tonight. Does that change how you approach maybe the next couple of races here, or is it still business as usual for you?
Business as usual. We're just looking to be consistent and hopefully stay somewhere in the top 5, top 10 every race. You know, it's always the goal of everyone is to get the best finish that they can, and hopefully we just continue with a little bit of luck here throughout the season.
Well, I'd say 2 podiums to kick off the season is a pretty banging way to start out for you here. Shout-outs for you here tonight. Anybody want to shout out?
Shout out Patented Paints. Always gotta represent them. Appreciate what Scott does over there. He makes real high quality paints, and recommend anyone out there looking for paint to go his way. Shout out to the Bandit Motorsports teammates. Love racing with these guys. They're a great group of guys to race with. Real proud of the guys working behind the scenes of getting Max Velocity back up and going. I raced here originally when the league first came out many years ago, and glad to see that we got good crowds coming out for the races so far. Shout out to the wife who's upstairs. Hopefully my kid's sleeping this week.
Yep, shout out to all the sim wives as usual, and shout out to you back on the podium once again. Congratulations, go party hard.
Thank you, sir.
We'll bring up your second place finisher. Speaking of Bandit Motorsports, driver number 87 is Justin Michael, runner-up finisher here tonight. There were a couple of different points where it looked like it could have gone your way. What do you think you needed to get up to the 27 here tonight?
Well, if I could have stayed in front of him on the restart, I don't know. I might have been able to pinch him off the turns to keep him behind me, keep him in the dirty air. But once he got out front, he was just gone. So he's good. So he's really good here. We've had good battles here in other leagues before. So a good win on him. He races a clean race as always, and everybody up front was running clean. So we really like that.
And speaking on the counter to that point, a lot of cautions here at the beginning and the end seem to bookend the race. At the end there, when you were ahead of Crowder on those restarts, were you wanting more restarts or were you just wanting a clean getaway?
No, the one restart where I started on the inside on 5th place, and I think going into the first turn I was already in second. That was the perfect restart because he was on the outside, so I kind of left him there. He would have had to fight through more traffic than I did, so that would have been the ultimate. Just keep on trucking. And then we got a yellow, I think, half a lap later, so that really screwed us.
But it's a great rebound from I mean, not through any fault of your own last week, of course, at Atlanta, but it was a disastrous opening race for you. So gotta feel good to get back on the podium here tonight.
Yeah, definitely. We were a pinball last week. Got hit in the pit, going to the pits, and then somewhere in the middle of the track. I don't remember where, but yeah, it's definitely a lot better race this time. Thanks to Bandit Motorsports out there and all my teammates, everybody out there watching my stream. I had a lot of good viewers tonight again, so we definitely appreciate that. So yeah, you guys for calling a great race.
Yeah, and if you want some driving tips on Phoenix, go look up Floorboard Deep on Twitch. They are Justin always gives me some good notes to try and improve my driving. So appreciate the time here tonight. Congrats on the P2, and we'll talk to you again here soon.
Appreciate it, guys. Have a good one.
And your race winner for the first time this season in an official capacity, but won the practice race at Las Vegas. Another similarly dominant performance here tonight for Ashton Crowder. Welcome back to Booth 200. Man, you looked, when we got some green flag racing in there, you looked pretty comfy out front.
Yeah, that the start of the race, I was kind of just mired there behind Justin. I was really tight, and then one way or another got in front of him, and then just kind of made the conscious decision that I was gonna go hammer down, turn on hammer time, and just try to pull out as big of a lead as I could. And thankfully for me, that ended up being the right decision, and got a win out of it.
All the restarts there at the end, were those what you were wanting to see, what you weren't wanting to see?
I think a little bit of both. I definitely didn't want to have a ton of restarts. especially that one where I think I would have started fourth and had positioning on the outside. Like that was really good for me. If it would have went green through that, I think I would have been a lot better off than where I was on the next restart. Um, but thankfully it all worked out. Um, this track is really hard uh, with the tires cold, especially with this cold of a track. I mean, it's just wrecking the whole time. Honestly, you're on ice, so yeah. The fewer the restarts for me, the better.
And now you said you were going to work on something cool for the burnout. I don't think you gave the reverse burnout enough credit last time at Las Vegas, but I gotta say I do love the full speed pile driver into the tri-oval there. That was certainly different.
Yeah, we really this whole run this league is about throwbacks to my sort of iRacing history and career, however you want to put it. I back in the day, which would have been like 2017 or so. Gosh, that was so long ago. But if I would want a race, I'd just put it head on into the wall, and we called it the drill spill burnout. And I ended up winning a SOFB Open on pretty much a fixed setup, and I decided, you know what, we're gonna bring it out. And I hit the wall head on in New Hampshire, and winning tonight, I'm like, you know what, we gotta keep this tradition going. So decided to put it head on into the wall. Hopefully nobody finds that disrespectful, but it's all good fun.
I mean, I think the guys at the shop may have something to say about it, but the drill spill I think is going to be popular with the fans, and I have a feeling they're going to be seeing it a few times this season. Shout-outs for you here tonight.
Yeah, comment on that. We can only hope. There's more of it. It'd be really nice. But yeah, my man Tracy, he spotted for me tonight. He's gonna be working with me hopefully for as long as possible. I really enjoy being around him and the knowledge that he carries. Tonight I mean, he really made it for us. Just kind of planning out the race and what we need to do. So that was a big advantage. It was like having Paul Heyman in my corner. um, but yeah, everybody at the drill spill was it? I think it's Area 51. Uh, what do they call it? I don't know, like Alien Shop or something. I'll have to remember that. It's like Alien Factory. That's what it is. Um, and then as you can see through my like iRacing API, I got a or SDK, whatever it is. I got a picture of Caitlin Clark
Yep.
as my avatar, and frankly, I just want to say what's up. I've messaged her a few times on Instagram. Haven't gotten a response back yet, but we can only hope for the best. Like I may have said this before, but I was 5 feet away from her in Starbucks one time, and in her hotel. I didn't know it was her hotel, and we're just meant to be together. She's a huge inspiration for me. So just a really big shout out to her. Big shout out to the league. Big shout out to you. Were you doing this alone tonight?
Yeah, my usual partner's on vacation. I'm working too hard, so it's just me here tonight.
Man. Okay, well, huge shout out to you then. I mean, goodness. I never had to do. I did a few broadcasts in my day and never had to do one by myself, but I can imagine that's probably a pretty painful experience trying to come up with stuff to talk about. So don't envy you there at all.
A few of the drivers were making it pretty interesting here tonight, but yeah,
Happy to hear it.
yeah, for sure. Congrats on the win. I think Caitlin's gonna like a winner, so keep at it, and we'll talk to you again here soon, hopefully.
Thank you. Go Hawks.
And that is how we're gonna send it home. Always interesting interview there. All right, that's a wrap here on round number 2 for Phoenix for Maximum Velocity. They are back in action next week at Homestead Miami Speedway for round number 3 of the championship. Man, super duper excited. We got Greg Roberts in the chat. I was supposed to ask the podium finishers about the state of Texas. Yeah. Sorry. I guess we'll have to ask somebody in the pre-race next time about the state of Texas. Ronnie Norman says the black screen came on. Oh, boy. And that's how the contact with James Lehman happened there. Yeah, man, that was such a good battle, too, and you were ripping on the outside. So that's really a shame that happened that way. But that's how it goes sometimes in our lovely realm of iRacing, unfortunately. But still good to hang on, both of you, for a top 10 finish here tonight. So that's nothing to hang your head about, I don't think. But again, next Thursday night, we're back in action with Maximum Velocity. Again, next Monday night, it's the SWM Cup Series at Bristol. That should be a hoot and a half. Next Tuesday is the Venom Truck Series back in action at Richmond. On Wednesday, we're back in action with the Daredevil Series. Oh, no, we're not, actually. The Daredevil Series, I forgot, is off next week. Holy cow. So no Wednesday night action. We do have an announcement that we just posted in the Discord today about the ASRL, Southern Shores Realty Sports Car Championship, that we will be covering right after the conclusion of the Daredevil Series on Wednesday night. September 20th is the opening round of their second season. We are picking it up here on Turn 200. That is going to be an absolute blast. GT3, GT4, multi-class sports car championship. Details in our Discord, and a link to our Discord is in the description of this video. So come out and join the party. And again, next Thursday night for Maximum Velocity, we're back in action at Homestead, Miami. Hopefully Matt Williamson will be here. But he deserves some time away. I've been working him a little bit too hard with 3 to 4 broadcasts every single week. So appreciate everybody coming to hang out with us here tonight. Again, if you haven't hit subscribe, do that on your way out. It helps support the channel. We have really been picking up the subs left and right here in the last couple of weeks. Or big thanks in part to this Maximum Velocity group and our new crop of fans that are coming in here and rooted on the Max V drivers. We hope to see everybody again here next Thursday night. But until we meet again, for everybody with Maximum Velocity, for everybody here at Turn 200, my name is Tommy Cook. We say so long from virtual Phoenix Raceway, where Ashton Crowder stands tall again as a winner in Maximum Velocity. Have a good night, everybody.